Wrapping up the week of trade here on the Daily Market Summary, and I'm joined by Will Lasater of agmarket.net. Will, we started the day, it wasn't so bad to begin, but by midday, almost entirely the grain side was in the red. Is that how we closed here today?
Certainly, it does look like we had a bit of a risk off day to end the month. We do have crude oil well below $90 a barrel as well, contributing to some of the losses that we did see in the grains. It does look like the ceasefire with Iran has been extended by 60 days, further contributing to the losses that we saw in the grains today.
And with that story as well, I mean, we've had so many times where it was seeming like the conflict was winding down and then it would flip almost immediately and the escalation or the tensions would escalate and then we would be right back to where we started. So was it kind of the case there earlier in the day where maybe traders were a little bit wary to see if actually there would be follow through on again continuing to wind down this conflict?
I do believe that, and I think as a larger point, matter of fact, the grains were tracing along with the crude oil very closely for the beginning part of this conflict. As it's kind of dragged on, we stopped trading the tweets as much, bringing the grains up and down with the crude oil. Now, what I will say is, it does seem that we're kind of breaking into a new range as we do get below $90 a barrel. I think that is going to set off some alarm bells in the eyes of the market that, okay, we are going to enter a new range. It does look like there might be some of this war premium taken out of the market at this point.
Also, wanted to ask you as well in terms of big picture questions for the grains. We had a fairly wet April here in the state of Iowa. In Des Moines, specifically where we are, it was very wet. It's like a top five wettest April. And since then, things have kind of changed. And in May, we saw a lot more dry areas throughout the Midwest. Are there any hot spots right now that we need to be concerned about that could be playing into the marketplace?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a lot of the same situation around most of the Corn Belt, right? We had same here in Northern Illinois. We had a record wet April, just really dried off in May. I know some guys over in Michigan, Northern Indiana, they've continued to get rains, but for the most part, we've been dry, and it does look like we are going to stay that way. Not going to have any meaningful rainfall in most of the Corn Belt for the next week or two. We do have we're going to have a lack of tropical air flowing northward into the Corn Belt. Not going to be great for any formation of rain, but I think we'll have to look out till mid to late June and see if that we are able to get some of that rain.
So we'll keep an eye on the weather situation and how that plays into the ag marketplace. Let's talk about the livestock side now. How did the cattle and hogs trade today?
Yeah, absolutely. We had another down day on the cattle and the hogs. Does look like traders are, we were at those highs in the cattle. It does look like we're pulling back a little bit now. We are able to hold some of that support on the moving averages. We are holding the 50-day on the live cattle. On the feeder cattle, we're holding that 200-day. So we are well supported, but we have seen a bit of a pullback from those highs that we saw in April and the beginning of May.
And then on the hog side, what did we see there?
Yeah, absolutely. So, in terms of the hogs, it does look like we had another day down. If I had to put my finger on it, I'd say that it looks like we are going down to revisit the November lows. And I think at that point, we'll have to see if we're willing to find some buyers once we get down to those lows from November.
Not great timing there for the hog market. We are hosting World Pork Expo here in Des Moines next week, and we're going to be talking to all kinds of people in the hog industry, and hopefully they can still have a positive outlook on things despite what we've seen in the ag marketplace for the hog side in recent weeks and months. He is Will Lasater of agmarket.net. Will, what's the best way for our viewers to get in touch for more marketing information?
Absolutely. You could reach me directly at 815-219-4450 or the rest of the ag market team at 844-4AG-MRKT.
Will, thanks so much for the time. Really appreciate it and have a great weekend.
Thank you. You as well.